The snow was falling hard that evening. The kind of cold that crept through your shoes and bit your bones, no matter how tightly you wrapped your arms around yourself. 6-year-old Maya didn't notice it anymore. Pain had become part of her life. The ache in her leg from the fall last month, the empty rumble in her stomach, and the bruise just under her sleeve where her stepmother's hand had grabbed too hard. But tonight wasn't about her. It was about Eli, her little brother, barely 4, shivering beside her, his lips turning the color of the sky before dawn. Their stepmother had locked the pantry again. She'd eaten her fill, slammed the door, and shouted, "You two better learn to fend for yourselves." Maya had waited until she heard the woman snoring from the couch before she made her move. She dragged an old blanket from the floor, wrapped it around Eli, and whispered, "Come on, baby. We're leaving." Each step was a war. Her broken leg, poorly set and never treated, screamed with every movement. But she bit her lip, kept her eyes forward, and pushed through the snow toward the town lights. It took her nearly an hour to reach the main road. Cars rushed by, bright lights, warm engines, people inside sipping coffee and listening to Christmas songs. No one looked twice at a tiny girl limping with a child in her arms. Until one car slowed, then stopped. The window rolled down. A man's voice, deep, gentle, called out, "Hey. Are you kids all right?" Maya froze. She'd been warned never to talk to strangers. But something in his voice wasn't like the others. It wasn't impatient. It wasn't curious. It was worried. Eli whimpered, and that was enough. She turned, her hair plastered to her face from the snow, and said in the smallest voice, "My brother's hungry, sir. I just wanted to find some bread." The man, Daniel Hart, stepped out immediately. He wrapped his scarf around Maya's shoulders, picked up Eli, and said, "Let's get you both warm." At the hospital, doctors rushed in, shocked by what they saw: malnourishment, frostbite, bruises, a fractured leg that had started to heal crooked. Maya never cried, not once. She just kept asking if Eli would be okay. When Daniel returned with 2 cups of hot chocolate, she looked up at him and whispered, "Thank you for stopping." Nobody ever does. Those words hit him harder than any boardroom decision or investor pitch ever had. Nobody ever does. Over the next few weeks, as social workers and police investigated, Daniel found himself visiting every day. He learned that Maya and Eli's father had died 2 years earlier. The stepmother had taken custody for the welfare money, then neglected them. When the authorities finally arrested her, Maya clung to Daniel's coat and asked, "Where will we go now?" He didn't have an answer at first. He'd spent years building companies, solving problems with logic and strategy, but this was something different. Something deeper. So he just knelt down, looked her in the eyes, and said, "You'll go where you're safe. And if you'll let me, I'd like that place to be with me." Months later, a photo went viral. It showed Daniel walking through Central Park, holding hands with 2 small children, a girl with a tiny pink cast and a boy eating ice cream, his cheeks round and bright again. The caption read, "Millionaire adopts siblings he found in the snow. Says they taught him more about love than money ever could." When reporters asked Maya what she remembered most from that night, she smiled shyly and said, "The snow was cold. But his heart was warm." Kindness doesn't always come from those who have the most. It often begins with the one who has the least, yet still chooses to love, to fight, and to hope. Sometimes, the smallest act of courage, a 6-year-old dragging her brother through the snow, can change more than 2 lives. It can remind the world that compassion still exists.